Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm so excited. I know. Okay, some people may not understand why I'm this hyped even after they hear this story, but just understand that like this is something that had such a huge impact in my life and had started the road to self-growth that I don't know I would have had that early in my life if it wasn't for this specific person in my life. So today I'm going to be talking about a story time. Now, just a little disclaimer, this is not like a, oh my god, story, yay, blah, 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 like this shit happened to me, this whatever. This is gonna be like a self-growth story, and that's the reason I'm so excited to share it with you, because at this point in my life, I kind of wish that I would have maybe stumbled across a video like this because it would have helped me a lot. So that's what I'm hoping to get across here, and maybe help some people understand that if they're going through a time like this in their life, like there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and it's amazing. So this person in my life, like up until probably this video, he probably has no idea how fucking thankful I am for him. And we don't really talk that much anymore. If we do, it's very, sporadic and random and just like, oh, like, how are things, blah, blah, blah. But it's still really cool that someone I used to have a relationship with, I can still conversate with. There's no anger, there's no hate, it's been years since we've been together. So I'm just here to talk about how mature of a fucking guy he was. And oh my god, you know what, he is going to make some girl so happy. And for any of you that may be thinking halfway through this video or a little bit into it like, oh my god, Jessa, you have a boyfriend, like why are you talking about your ex? Relax. The fact that you can't talk about your ex openly is, that's a, like, ask yourself what the fuck is up with that, because this is one of, I'm gonna say probably one of the only relationships where it ended horribly at the time emotionally for me, but what came out of it and how it was handled and how everything to it pretty much came about was just so for the best and so needed. And I want to share that with you because it's just something that I don't want to keep to myself. I want to put it out there because it brings me such joy. And I just want to start off by saying in no way am I ever like trying to disrespect him or, anything like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can already tell this is going to be a positive thing. So let's get right into it. So back when I was in high school, just to give you a tiny bit of a background on myself, I was with this guy. He's not who I'm going to be talking about, but I was with this guy for about like 1.5, 2 years who I let totally control me, like to the point where I had no friends, no nothing. When we broke up, like I was sitting alone at lunch, pretending to do homework because I didn't have anyone to go to. I didn't have any friends, nothing. So at that point, back in grade 10, I had like gotten into drugs, and then when I got back with this controlling motherfucking boyfriend, it was just like a no, which was obviously for my benefit. But me as a child, fucking child, when we broke up, I was like, holy shit, I went all the fuck out. Like, I got so deep into drugs, it was actually crazy. I hung out with just, the wrong crowd and made really wrong decisions, but something beautiful came about. I'm not gonna go too into depth of like how we met and everything like that because, there's really no point to it. I could go on and on, but again, there's really no point to it because him and I both know everything there is to know, and I feel like no one else really needs to know that business. But what I'm about to share with you can maybe help you, maybe not, and you're just like, okay, whatever, here along for the ride, that's fine too. Let's give him, okay, I'm gonna give him a fake name, obviously, because I'm not gonna say his real name, even though he knows I'm making this video. What's a good name? What's a nice name? Let's call him Mitch, because for some reason, one of my girlfriends always thought his name was Mitch. I don't know, so far off, but anyways. So, me and Mitch, we never actually ended up getting together with the intention of being together. It was like a one-time hookup because, I don't know, we just started talking, we were like, all right, we need it, whatever. Happened, and happened again, and again, and you know what I mean, like shit like that, when it just leads one to another. And then we were just like, holy balls, like I think you motherfucking cute, so we got together, you know what I mean? Even though it was very unrealistic, just because we were in a long distance relationship, you know, he was only here for the summer and then he would leave. But like, you can't help feelings, you know what I mean? You know, when you just like fall for someone, like you fall so fast, so quick, you don't really know what the fuck happened, but you can't just pretend like you didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a strong feeling, especially when it's like both parties, that you're just like drawn together, even though people, like, no one knew that we talked. So when they saw that we were kind of like whatever, like what the fuck, literally like polar opposites. But I should have put on deodorant before I started filming this because I'm getting a little sweaty right now. I kind of want to take this off. You know what? I'm not naked, okay? Look at this. I'm not naked. I'm just really hot in my apartment right now. The heater was on for hours. It shouldn't have been. So we're just gonna get into the rest of this. You can picture me naked if you'd like, because what a pretty fucking picture that is. But just know that I'm not, okay? All right. But anyways, you know, it got to the point of, you know, the long distance relationships when like, no matter how much you really like care or love for each other at that time, like when you go months and months, and it was like 8 months, I think, going without like seeing one another, it's really hard, like really hard emotionally. And like me as a person, I have a really hard time, not anymore, maybe a little bit, but back in the day, I would have a really hard time being mature about things. You know what I mean? I would blow things out of proportion, blow them out of the water, just be an egotistical little brat about things. And I don't know. Basically, we decided, we were like, okay, when we get home, like, we'll try it out, you know what I mean? But me as a fucking child, I got pissed and just like said some stupid shit that, you know, you can't take back. And I guess that was the first time I ever heard the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, where's this camel at? What? I had to honestly Google it because I was so confused. And then when I read the description, I just cried, you know what I mean? And you know what? This is so long in the past that like I don't have any feelings, like not even an inkling anymore. So that's why it's okay for me to talk about this freely, because even if my boyfriend does see it, because he watches all my videos, like it's not something he's gonna be like, oh my god, what the fuck, blah 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 blah, because this is something that has helped me in my current relationship. So thank you for that. Thank you. This whole video it's gonna be a little bit longer, but it is so based off of gratitude and thanks for this person in my life, because like I said, even though we don't talk or we aren't really in each other's lives other than like here and there, like he will always mean something to me just because of how much of a positive impact he had. Now, of course, when relationships end, you know what I mean? Like you have no idea what's going on both sides behind closed doors, like whatsoever. So when I came back from Hawaii, no, okay, let's skip forward a little bit. So, you know what I just said, the straw that broke the camel's back or whatever, some shit that I said, and that was the point where he realized like we are never ever getting back together. And you know, I was so young, I was so in my own like headspace that like I just let it literally like destroy me. Like I wanted to be with him so bad. I never ever was on the receiving end of being broken up with. Usually, like very rarely in my life has that happened, so it really fucked me up because I don't know what it was, and I will never be able to explain what it was, how infatuated I was with him, and no one could understand it because like I'm not trying to insult either of us, but people would always make comments because we were all, you know, we had a little bit of a height difference where like I was just a tiny bit taller and blah blah blah, and we just looked like polar opposites, which is so fun, you know, opposites attract. I literally have no type in the world. Like all of my friends have said that. They're like, what the fuck, Jasmine, you go from like one type to like the complete other and like whatever. And it's like, yeah, because people are people, man. How people look shouldn't matter. It's how they think, how they feel, how they communicate, you know, how they make you feel when you're around them, when you're with them, stuff like that. And even though he was a shy little guy, like I just really really digged him, you know what I mean? I was just like, man, I don't know what it is about you, but like, you just drive me crazy. So it was one of those things that was super hard to get over initially, you know what I mean? So I was one of those girls who I was like, we can like totally hook up and like it won't hurt me, blah blah blah. He was not stupid. He's like, Jasmine, come on, like but you know, he would anyways because it was what I wanted. But then it got to the point where it was just like too much. And I think the spark just kind of started to dwindle, but he told me he would, you know what, this is to my recollection, because like I said, this is years ago, so it's very hard for me to kind of remember what actually was said, but I don't know what happened, but I know that he was like, Jasmine, we can't do this anymore, you know what I mean, like this is really hurting you emotionally, and we both need to get over this and move on, you know, like, he told me he loved me and that's why he was doing that. And at the time, I'm thinking, well, what the fuck? Like, if you loved me, you would not be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, you would be with me instead. And it just wasn't meant to be, you know, but it wasn't something that I accepted at the time, because as much as I wanted to believe that everything was meant to be, like, in that moment when someone you love is telling you that you guys will never be together again, like, that's funny. I haven't talked about this in a long time, like into depth. It's funny how it does bring up old emotions, but like not ones that you think, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. Anyways, let's move on. And yeah, I went through a really hard time recovering from that, just because, I don't know, like I said, I was not in the right headspace. I didn't have someone telling me that, you know, sometimes when someone loves you, they have to give you that tough love because it's better for you in the long run, you know what I mean? Instead of stringing you along like fuckboys, and like fuckboys usually do and have done to me, where they string you along just to fuck you and they don't really care about your feelings. Like, he fucking cared about my feelings. He was one of the most, like, top 2 most respectful boyfriends I've ever had in my life, and I have so much thanks for that, because I've just been treated like such shit and allowed it to happen that, like, you know what I mean, it's not okay. So to have someone come in and do that, it's like years down the road now, growing up, it's like there will never be enough gratitude in my heart for him, just because I was like so depressed when I came home, you know what I mean? Like, knowing we'd never be together. Like, I literally stayed in bed for months. Like, I would get up and go out very rarely. My mom was she thought it was because of Hawaii. She thought it was like, oh, she's depressed because like she misses Hawaii. Like, no, like, she did not understand. It was just one of those things, you know what I mean? You can't really help feeling the way that you feel about someone. It just is. And of course they never see that side of that, you know what I mean? Like, he would check in on me to make sure I was okay. Like, I was not fucking okay, you know what I mean? Like, all I wanted was him in my life, but that tough love was so necessary. It was so fucking necessary, because it's like, as much as we wanted to be together, we totally jumped into something that, like, we didn't even know each other. We didn't know each other's personality, really. We didn't really know each other's interests, dislikes, you know what I mean? Like, it was so fun at first, and we saw each other very rarely, so it's not like it was great at first and it ended horribly, like anything like that. It was great, it was fun, you know what I mean? At the time, it was beautiful, you know? And what's so beautiful is how much growth came out of it, and that tough love really, really, like, I don't know what it did to me, man, but it literally changed things completely. Not in that moment, definitely not, but now, like within the last year, how much I've realized that, and I wanted to express it so much, but we were never on good terms, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if he's gonna think this is weird, like blah blah blah, all this stuff, and it was just like, I'm just having to get this the fuck out there, because if you're a guy and you're watching this, please, please do not string girls along just so you can hook up with them and totally like not validate their feelings, like to just disregard someone's emotions just so you can be with their physical being. Like, that's so not okay. I thank him every day for not being a fuckboy, because I just seemed to always used to attract fuckboys and deal with it. I don't know, I used to like romanticize abusive relationships, so it manifested in ways that I didn't fantasize, but at the same time, thought is creation, you know what I mean? You got to be careful what you wish for. And, you know, as much as I have thanked him, he will not get it, because, like, I went through some stuff lately in my relationship where, you know, some of what I've learned from then was needed now, and it's just like that will carry forth with me through the rest of my life and help me out in every future relationship, because it helped me mature so much into stepping back and asking myself, why are you reacting like this? Because the thing is, the straw that broke the camel's back was something I blamed him for when I should have taken complete responsibility for it. You know what I mean? And that's where I learned a lot of things, putting the blame on others. Why am I doing that? Why am I not taking responsibility for my own actions? Why am I hurting my body and filling it with toxins because I feel sad? Because I got super addicted to cigarettes. I told myself, no, like once I get over him, I'll quit. I needed that because it was almost like a support system. When your friends are around, cool, they want to help, they really want to, and their intention is pure, but at the same time, they're not with you alone at night when you're crying until like 4 a.m. or going over messages over and over and just like hurting yourself. And it's like, I learned so much, it's like when you're going through hard times like that, don't hurt your body, love yourself, give yourself time, give yourself patience, give yourself that understanding of everything's going to be okay. This happened for a reason. You're going to learn something from it. You're always going to learn something from it. Nothing happens by mistake, and nothing happens just by coincidence, because, hey, some people believe that, but I don't. I personally do not believe that whatsoever. Nothing in this world, not a single sliver of it, is a coincidence. And the fact that I can still talk to him down the road about like my current boyfriend and him asking me like, oh, like, are things good? Like, hey, blah, 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 like all this stuff. Like, I really love that, because I don't talk to really any of my exes other than like my friend in Hawaii, because me and him were always like very good friends, and he really changed my life. You know what I mean? So it's like him and, oh my God, what did I name him? I don't even remember. I don't even remember what fake name I gave him. I don't even know if I did. This far into it, I'm kind of lost. This is getting a little bit long, but I wanted to make this just to get that out there to girls. If you're happening to go through a situation like that, where like, a relationship maybe have ended or something along those lines, maybe it's happened in the past. Maybe this is something you can carry with you into the future. But when things aren't flowing naturally and you have to almost force them to work, and it's not something that's both wanted on equal parties, take a step back and ask yourself, like, do I really want this? Like, why do I want this? What am I getting from it? You know what I mean? And if you're in it and the other person is in it, that's awesome. But if it's like totally one way, then it's not going to work, and you're going to be wasting your time. You're going to be putting yourself out there vulnerably. And is it the best choice in that moment? Should you be being vulnerable with that person? Do you want to be vulnerable with that person? If so, that's fine, but also allow yourself to have that reassurance within yourself that you don't need anybody else except what you've got right here. Like, you do not need anyone else. Anyone else should just be like the cherry on top. Okay, because one thing that I used to do was always, I wouldn't rely my entire happiness on like guys and stuff like that, but I would put a big chunk of it to that. You know what I mean? Like getting that attention, getting that affection and everything like that. And it's just like, no, honey, like if it's not something that is truly bringing you excitement and joy and love, and you are just, so in the flow of just giving and receiving love with someone who's on the same page as you, like that's a different story. But I feel like, don't forget that you are so special, just you. Like, you don't need anyone else. If you come across someone that you really vibe with and you're just like, like I dig you, you know what I mean, then that's awesome, and you guys can share experiences and grow and travel and do whatever together. But know that you can also do that with yourself, just by yourself. And even if you're going through a tough time where, maybe you were with someone for a long time and it had ended, or, there's so many different things, like I can't really pinpoint scenarios, but know that if you're feeling a little bit lost, and you feel like you're on this journey by yourself, like that's okay. That's life. Like, we forget everything as soon as we're born, and it takes us decades to remember, like, why the fuck we're here. What are we here to do? What is your sole purpose? What really brings you joy? What turns you the fuck on? You know what I mean? Like, it's your playground to find out. You know, it's your playground to find out what you love, who you love being with, the vibe you like surrounding yourself with, you know, who you are going to give your body to, you know, who aren't you going to give your body to, you know, don't give your precious being to those who are going to disrespect you, you know, and him being one of two people, one of three, okay, my current boyfriend is the most respectful person ever, you know what I mean, but I'm talking about past relationships right now. My two exes, I don't even like calling them exes because the word ex is just so like, I don't know, but yeah, they're just so important in my life, and I wish more guys would, I'm not just talking about guys, but at the same time, like, I just want to focus on them right now. Don't think I'm pinpointing you, and I'm not saying that, you know, girls need to do the same thing, but I'm just going to generalize this. Respect everyone's feelings, you know, put yourself first, but also care for others, you know, even if they're not family or awesome friends or whatever, you know, always remember that everyone has feelings, everyone has a heart, everyone experiences sadness and pain, and like, what do you want to give more of? You know, if you're with someone and you don't really want to be, but you kind of feel obligated because of maybe agreements you've made to them, know that change is okay. You know, that's part of life. As human beings, we're going to constantly be changing, and that's okay. And changing who we're with doesn't consider you know, you to be a player or a whore or whatever, you know, I mean, if you're, you know, being a prostitute, then that's maybe a different story, but like, if you're not, and if you are, hey, do you, boo, like, whatever, but, just always respect others in relationships and out of relationships, you know, always respect others' feelings, you know, take into consideration, like, how would you feel if someone did whatever, did X to you or said to you? Like, would that make you feel good or would that hurt you? You know, just always like think twice and always take other people's feelings into consideration. And that's what I just wanted to get across today, was he did that for me, and it's something that I will never forget. It's something that probably will not be a big deal to him. I don't know if he's still even watching this because it's so long, but just thank you, you know, keep being you, and yeah, just thank you, you know. All those girls out there, if you're going through a tough time or like fuckboys are treating you like shit, cut that off. Know your worth. Guys too, if you have girls treating you like shit, fuck that bitch. No, you don't have time for that. You only have time for divine light beings who are out for your best interest, who are going to help you grow, you know, not stay stagnant or like hold you back or bring toxic energy into your life. Only surround yourself with people that truly stimulate you, stimulate your mind, your body, you know, like everything. So that was my little story for today. I don't know if a lot of people will resonate with that or they'll think that maybe this was a waste of time. That's fine. I just wanted to get this out there because my experience with someone I was in a relationship with that just treated me with such maturity, it really helped me down the road. So just remember, always, always, always take other people's feelings into consideration and always have that respect, because again, what you give to another, you give to yourself. So thank you so much for helping me grow so much. You know, I can't wait to see how we blossom down the road, like each and every one of you, you know what I mean? It's gonna be so beautiful and I'm so excited and life is just so great. So yeah, I also, I booked a 10 to 2 today and I totally forgot my brother works at 11:45. So I gotta go. On my day off, I'm ditching work. Okay, like, yeah. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Keep it real, keep it carved. Have a great day. Mwah!